Inspector. I mean, yes. No, Professor Gadget. Professor Gadget is here, not Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget is a cartoon.
That's right.
Professor Gadget is Jim George.
Yep.
Good morning, all.
You know, I can't imagine you without your beard. That's a good-looking beard. You have a good-looking beard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anybody ever tell you that?
No.
Nobody ever told you it was a good-looking beard?
Although I did shave it off once, and my wife made me put it back on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She says you have a face made for a beard.
You make a good Santa Claus, though.
And I was cover up half of it. You know? And I keep it short. I had it long at one time when my wife first met me, and I was down like to my below my chin, just way down to my chest. And she said that looks ratty.
That was too much, huh?
Too much.
Too much for her.
Too much.
So you have to do what she wants you to do because women are super women.
If Mama ain't happy.
Did you see the ladies' room sign? It turns out that wasn't a skirt. That's actually a cape.
That's right. Well, you contemplating shaving your beard?
No.
Is that what you're doing? You're contemplating?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
No,
okay.
I enjoy the beard. I only wish I could get some of the hair that grow on top of my head that's on my face.
I wonder why that happens in the human anatomy.
And that's something.
You got all your chin in your face and nothing on the person's head. Isn't that something?
Yep.
Have you ever wondered that?
I think it's a pleasure tool. All right,
best of both worlds right there.
Jim is the owner of American Cable Services, and he's our go-to guy when we have questions about technology, and he's your go-to guy, too. So if you want to call in, don't hesitate to call. The number is 622-9622. And I don't know what else you planned on talking about today, but I have to ask you about this article about the Tesla battery for the home.
Yes.
What you said you're ready, like 2 steps ahead of me on this one. What is it? What are your thoughts on it? Is it going to change like in a year or 2 or 10? What is this? Is this something really new that's going to revolutionize our homes?
Well, the home works on AC, alternating current, and batteries are DC, they're direct current. So all this, what Tesla did is create a battery that is efficient enough and an inverter efficient enough that it will convert the batteries DC to AC in such a way that it will produce about 10,000 kilowatts. And that's not enough for the average size home that's over 1,700 feet. If it was 1,400 feet or less, that would power the entire house. But the thing is, the battery has to stay charged, or else you'd have brownouts. That's where your air conditioner would start.
Certain things wouldn't work. Okay.
Right, they'd start to draw too much power and actually burn the unit out. Refrigerators would burn out because they don't have enough power. So the smart inverter knows when it's getting below a certain sense, and it will kick back over to the power company or kick back over to a solar cell to keep the battery charged.
Right. All right, so put it into context for me, because when you say 10,000 kilowatts, it's just like in one ear, not the other. So put it in this context. We have a generator that comes on outside the radio station here.
Right.
And it can't run the air conditioner, I think, but it runs everything else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same thing?
Right.
How many watts does a normal generator have?
Well, you can get them from 5,000 kilowatts, and then they go 7.5, and then 10, and then 12, and then 18. So what you do is
10 is about the midpoint.
Right. You take the total power usage that you have, and when you get your bill, it's on there. It tells you how much kilowatts you used. And if you ask them, actually I think on the new bills, it tells you per month, including last year, what you used last year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So you can see that last year at this time you used 10,000 kilowatts. So
right.
So you can buy a 15,000 kilowatt generator so that if something changed, you'd have more power than what you needed.
So I guess the only other question I really have is it cheap? No, it's not cheaper than a generator, but it would be better because you wouldn't have to keep filling it with gasoline or whatever.
Well, actually, the Tesla one would be cheaper, $3,500 for 10,000 watt. If you went to Lowe's or Home Depot, you could probably get one for around $3,500 to $5,000. Depends on a good day, bad day.
Right.
But that's their peak power. That's the maximum they can produce. That's not their steady power. So when you get the specs on these things, you have to figure out what is the steady power. So if your house draws 10,000, you may need to buy a 15,000 because at peak it will produce 15, but it won't steadily produce more than 10.
All right, now here I do have another question. I thought that was my last one, but I do have one. A car battery can explode.
Yes.
Now these batteries you say are big and they hang on your wall. What is it? I mean, they have to be aesthetically pleasing to hang on the wall.
Yeah, it looks neat. It's like.
But could it explode and cause the house to burn down?
Chances are no, because of different technology. You have certain types of acids you put in car batteries.
Right.
You have a different kind of acid you put into, let's say.
These are lithium ion. Does that tell you anything?
Well, yeah. That means there's no acid.
Oh, okay. So that's less likely to explode?
Right. It's a chemical reaction, but not from chemicals. In other words, it's dissimilar metals and things like that create heat in the sense that the heat now produces the electricity, but not the heat where if you touched it, it's hot to the touch.
Now, how about those Tesla batteries that's at Market Square at Heathbrook where you hook your car up? Are those solar or are they hooked into the electrical system of Market Square where you hook up your car, or how do those work?
Yeah, those are electric. So the power company has ran power to those charging units, and then you plug in your car and you charge them. Or you can plug in your golf cart, too. They have golf cart charging stations in the villages where you can park and charge. So, but there the parking meter is more expensive. So instead of paying, let's say, 25 cents to park in a normal one, you might pay $2.75 or whatever it is to park in a golf cart charging station or a Tesla, and that would be per, let's say, 30 minutes.
No, per 30
probably
minutes.
About 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And then the article said that the electric company charges you less for electricity at night than in the daytime?
Right. It's on-demand usage. So everybody's home at night. Everybody's turning on the lights, making dinner, that type of things, watching TV. So that's called peak demand times. So since everybody wants it, they're going to charge you more. But from like midnight to 6 in the morning, let's say, everybody's in bed. So maybe the only thing working is your water heater, your air conditioner,
right.
So they charge you less.
Light.
So like when a person has a pool, for instance, they will put the filter on during the non-peak times, so it's cheaper.
See, I never even knew that. I never even knew that. We do have a phone call. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Jim George.
Good morning, Mr. George. I've noticed a lot of these electric cars, especially one I just read about. You go to charge it, and it'll charge in 4 hours, providing the charger is a 220-volt charger or a 240-volt charger, as opposed to 110. And the 110, it takes like 14 hours to charge. That's 14 hours of continuous draw on electricity. And I just still see a problem if more and more people do go to electric vehicles to keep them charged up, so when they want to use them, they have the car will go. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that. I'll hang up and listen. Thank you. Have a good weekend,
thank
everybody.
You.
Thank you, Sonny.
Well, you could buy a lot of things that work on 110 volts, even an air conditioner for your house. But if you bought an air conditioner that ran on 240 volts, it uses less current to do the same work because it's got more volts. Think of volts as pressure or force. So what happens with these chargers is if you have 240 volts, it's still only producing 12 volts or 14 volts through an inverter, but the transformer is more heavier. In other words, it allows the car to suck more power from the transformer and charge faster. So that's why he's saying, 110 one may take 14 hours to fully charge. A 220 one may only take 4 hours to charge.
Okay.
So in your home where you have 120, what they suggest you do is when you get home in the evening, you plug it in, and then in the morning, which could be, so if you get home, let's say at 8 at night, and if you leave the house at 8, there's 12 hours of continuous charging. Now, if you were a type of person that was two families and two working people and they used the car all day, electric's not for you. because you'd have to charge it on and off, 3 and 4 times a day.
Right,
so
right.
You got to work, you'd plug it into the charger. You got to the store, you'd plug it into the everywhere you went.
You can't fill it up in 10 minutes.
So what Tesla is doing is they're creating batteries that hold the charge longer, so you can go further, go faster. I guess you had the story on the Tesla car.
Yeah.
Where you push the don't push button.
Right. Yeah, what was it called? The insane button or something?
Yeah, the insane button. Yeah, that was fun.
That sends an extra, jolt to the engine, and it just takes off.
Yeah.
But, there are certain countries of the world that are on Tesla cars right now. They're just going to it because they're testing to make, to save on power.
Wow. And a Tesla motorcycle is out there too? I saw something in the news about that. Wow.
With solar cells?
No, it's the battery.
Tesla charge.
Oh.
You have to plug it in just like you do a car.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how long it takes.
Oh, my.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a little break and be right back with Jim George. He is the owner of American Cable Services. And if you have a question about cable TV, once in a while, those questions still come in. We spoke to the lady who started cable TV yesterday.
Yep, the USA Network and cable TV.
Well, that's what it said. It said she started cable TV.
Yep, she did. Cable TV.
Kind of pretty lady, too.
Yeah.
Good to know.
She's a gazillionaire.
In Pennsylvania.
We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A nice weekend shaping up for the area. Sunshine today. Pretty low humidity, the high 80 to 84. We're partly cloudy tonight with lows ranging from the low and mid-50s in the coolest inland spots to 64 at the coast. Sunny skies tomorrow, the high 78 to 82. And for Sunday, plenty of sunshine, high 80 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
So you need a credit card, but how do you choose? Let's compare the big banks to Florida Credit Union. They have rewards, and we do too. They have customer service. Hello, 24/7. They have celebrities. Hey, Danny. But with Florida Credit Union, there's no annual fee, no liability for fraudulent charges, and no 22% interest rates. Choose Florida Credit Union, and you'll not only have a great credit card, but you'll have the support and personal touch that the big banks, well, can't touch. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Black Cow composted cow manure is a terrific organic soil amendment. We start with cow manure from dairy farms and then compost it a full 90 days. The result is an all-natural, dark, rich soil amendment that's great for everything you grow. Flowers, vegetables, shrubs, trees, and lawns too. Look for Black Cow in the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center.
Black Cow, the mature manure, Black Cow.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Buried under receipts and confusing tax code? Let Crippen & Company help. They work hard to make the tax preparation process as painless as possible. With offices in Ocala and the Villages, their team is dedicated to helping clients with corporate and personal tax returns, bookkeeping for businesses, and estate planning for the future. Crippen & Company crafts a truly customized experience for each client's needs while alleviating stress and creating a big picture of your overall financial health. Call 352-732-4260 or visit crippencpa.com to get started.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
WOCA.
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
All right, 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. Jim George is here, and if you have a question about technology, this is a good time to call. There are gadgets out there. Then there's a story about this new battery for your house that's going to be out there. $3,000. It'll probably drop in price, right?
Well, right now it's about $3,500. Now, there'll be installation, but yes. But there again, you're either going to charge it by using your house power, or you're going to charge it by solar. The ideal way would be by solar, and then have a backup electrical. Now, that's called a transfer switch. So what happens, this is a smart device, and it senses that the battery is running low. So it sends power from the solar cell to the battery to keep it charged. If it's a cloudy day and it doesn't, and it senses there's not enough power, it'll switch over to the electric and let it charge it.
Isn't that something?
So theoretically, you would be on the battery 24 hours a day. Now, what does that mean? That basically means that you're off the grid. If you're on the battery, you won't have to worry about a power failure anywhere.
Do you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like poor people will be paying more for electricity than rich people, because rich people will be able to afford this.
Yes.
And they'll be paying less than somebody who can't afford it.
Yeah. I mean, if you took 8 hours a day of your house, or even 12 hours a day, and had no power running at all, no clocks, no refrigerators, you know what what device in your home uses more current than any other device in your house?
I'm guessing the either the clothing dryer or the water heater.
Well, the answer is the cable TV box.
No way.
Really?
The cable TV box
Why?
draws more power. Number one, it's on 24 hours a day because you have it plugged in. You don't want to unplug it because then it has to go re-register. It has to go back to the head end and get all the information, you know, all the other stuff. So it's the most power-hungry device you have in your house is the set-top.
Well, I don't know.
Wow.
So when we launch our IPTV system, for instance, our box uses milliamps, not amps, but 1/1000th of an amp. Mm-hmm. And so the power, people will go to our device, will automatically say, man, my electric bill is down. I say, yeah, your electric bill is down. Mm-hmm. So you would think the hot water heater, the refrigerator, that they would be the hungry.
Oh, yeah, the refrigerator's on all the time. How come that doesn't...
Well, no, it's not on all the time. It only kicks on you.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, maybe that'll be some incentive for the electric companies to give everybody one of those battery type things, and then the people would just pay the electric company X number of dollars a month to have that battery
Great
thing.
business plan. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Let's assume you guys won the lottery and you had $1 million, and you said to yourselves, okay, you know, we can fix up our homes or buy a home or buy a car, but how could we ensure that we would get continual income? Mm-hmm. Well, you guys say, well, why don't we go out and buy these Tesla inverter batteries, sell them to a homeowner, and not sell them, but maybe have them pay $500 a month or $300 a month or $200 a month. Well, let's assume it was $200 a month. Well, the person that had a bill for $350 or $400 would definitely pay $200. Mm-hmm. But they'd be paying you $200 forever.
Right.
So you get $2,400 the first year, right?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So the second year, you would get another $2,400, which means you got a payback of 18 months or 16 months, whatever that number is.
But aren't they paying the electric company to charge it at night?
Well, they wouldn't have to. Well, yeah, but think about it. You're only charging the battery. How much power does it take to charge a battery? Mm-hmm. You're not running the house.
Okay, but
wow.
Oh, I see. Wow. So the battery runs everything.
Battery runs everything.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Now,
what a business plan. You're right. The power company should say, hey, we can't keep producing more and more power. Why don't we just do this?
What is lithium ion? What is that?
Well, it's just a form of well, I'm not a chemist, but you have all types of, you have cambium, you have lithium, and they deteriorate at a different rate. In other words, so they hold a charge.
Is this something we mine out of the ground or make in the laboratory?
We mined it, yeah. Lithium.
So so that means it's a finite resource.
Right, but remember, it's got a coating on it. It could have a copper coating. It could have a zinc coating.
We have a phone coating right in now. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim.
Jim, I was wondering if you could answer a question about an urban legend. Is it true that the cable company can either see through the cable box or hear through the cable box or both, or is that just some conspiracy theory?
Okay, well, they can't hear or see through the cable box in the sense that you and I think about hearing and seeing. But there's a lot of information in that cable box on you. And so in that sense, they know a lot about you through the cable box. But no, the answer is no. But the smart TVs, the answer is yes. If you have a smart TV, it actually has a camera built into it usually. And you have to go and turn that camera off. They can turn that camera on and see everything in your home. Same thing on your laptop. I was on Skype. When was I on Skype? Wednesday night to China, where I signed an agreement to bring in 58 Chinese channels from the Republic of China. And all of us had our cameras on, and we were all seeing each other from around the world.
Wow.
So if you have a laptop,
did you understand them?
Make sure you no, we had an interpreter. Make sure you turn your camera off.
Unless you're really good looking, then keep it turned on. Thank you, Pete.
That's pretty fascinating.
Nobody heard my joke. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Hey, Hugh.
Say, when you go to the store and you buy your batteries, your AA, your AAA, and everything else there, and it's dated, is the closer you get to the date, the weaker the battery?
If it's a weekday.
What was the question?
When is the expiration date?
The batteries have a date, on it, whatever, a year. And if you buy a bunch of them and you put them in a drawer, and if you kind of forget about them a little bit, and what I'm trying to say is, closest to the date
do they get
on the
weaker?
package, are they weaker when you get closer to that date, or do they still keep their strength?
No, they're weaker, but they're not weaker by much. Because there's no load on it. It's just a battery. You know how you have the little AA's and C's and D's battery?
Yeah.
You know how you can tell as a layperson if this battery is charged or not? Without a meter?
Dropping it.
Just drop it.
Yeah.
Right.
If it stands up,
what happens when you drop it?
If it falls down, it's bad. If it stands up,
falls down, and in other words, if you drop it on its end, the flat end, which is the negative, let's say, and just drop it like 3 inches, 4 inches. That's all. You don't have to drop it from 3 foot, because then it will just bounce. But if you just drop it 6 inches, 8 inches, something like, if it lands on and then falls over, it's losing its power. And we don't even know why that is. It's one of the mysteries of life. It's like,
isn't that interesting?
Do they still sell those battery rechargers that you could recharge those AAA's and AA's?
Yes, they do.
That's something of the past.
No, they still sell them. As a matter of fact, most everything in my house is run off of rechargeable batteries, and whenever the radio goes down or whatever it is that I have, like a 9-volt battery, I just recharge it.
Does that come back to the original strength?
It comes back to actually a little bit more, but the more and more you charge it, the less and less it will hold the charge. So it may say 9.7 volts, but as soon as you put it under a load, it may go right down to 7 or something. In other words, it will charge to its fullest, but it won't hold the charge.
Okay, very interesting. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And if the radio is getting lower and lower in volume, what it means is that the batteries are starting to go, and you probably have to go get some new ones because it's probably
going to mean that.
Be gone.
Did you tell everybody about Red Nose Day?
I did not.
Red Nose Day is coming up May 21st. Tune in to Red Nose Day.
And Dance Like a Chicken Day is May 14th. Don't
That's
forget.
right.
And today's chocolate parfait day.
Oh,
yes.
I'm ready for the chocolate. Is Joe bringing some in?
I don't know. I doubt it.
I hope so.
I doubt it.
Chocolate parfait.
It's usually Robin that brings stuff in. Robin and Patsy. Joe and I don't usually bring things in. It's a gal thing.
It's a gal thing. Like a car.
That's right.
It's a cat.
Tish.
Cat, yeah.
Tish brings in goodies too.
Oh, Tish, I was right. It's a gal thing. So if you're a gal, you're bringing stuff in. Or a veteran. A gal or a veteran.
All right.
Jim, what's your phone number?
854-9795.
All right. It's always a fun segment. It goes too quick.
It is. It does go too quick. We need to go off subject sometime and talk about nothing pertaining to gadgetry.
Yeah, like red noses.
Red noses.
Thank you, Jim. All right, we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. More protests expected over the death of a Baltimore man demonstrators want answers about.
Baltimore police are not confirming a report by WJLA-TV that quotes sources who say the medical examiner found Freddie Gray's injury was caused when he slammed into the back of the police van, apparently breaking his neck. The injury matches a bolt in the van. It also says an investigation has found no evidence that his